I've been a lawyer for 10 years and I have been specializing in corporate law and family law. Now, in the past 3 years, I have majored specifically in divorce cases. So I've helped a lot of people through the legal process of divorce. So all these points I'm going to be making are coming from my experiences as a lawyer. Now, this is what I will do, or these are the steps that I will take before I get a divorce. Now, the first thing I will do is just pause, take a step back, and think about it. Think and think again. Yes, think about it because the decision is a very big decision, right? So you need to properly think about it. Now, if you're thinking about a divorce, it's probably because you've tried everything humanly possible to save your marriage and it's not working. You've done, therapy, you've gone for counseling, you've even arranged for family meetings, and if everybody has tried to weigh in on the issue and it feels like it's still not working out, and you're at that point where it feels like it is safer for you to leave than for you to stay. Okay, except you look like this or like this, then you shouldn't be thinking. You should be taking the steps or taking actions to get away from that marriage as soon as possible. But if you don't look like that, then you need to properly think about your decision. Now, the decision to get a divorce is something you alone have to make. Your parents cannot make that decision for you. Your family cannot make that decision for you. Even I, as your lawyer, or whoever is your lawyer, cannot make for you. That decision is something only you can make. So you need to properly sit and think. If you're someone that is easily swayed by other people's opinion, then I can say give yourself time to go and sit and think about it, so that when you're making decision, you know that yes, you made that decision on your own. Nobody helped you to make that decision, because when you're going through that process, you know that you chose to take this decision and you will go through. It is easier for you to go through the process of divorce when you know that you made that decision on your own. Now, for some people that you didn't have to make the decision, your partner made that decision for you. I've seen in some cases where the other partner just leaves the home, or the other partner has moved on and started another life and said, you know what, I don't want this marriage anymore, and the other person is left hanging, and you have no other choice than to be thinking about divorce. So you still need to think about it, even though you're still in the process. You need to think about it. Now, the second thing I will do if I was getting a divorce is to plan and to prepare. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of not planning for a divorce. You need to plan for it emotionally, you need to plan for it physically, you need to plan for it financially, because divorce is, I'm going to tell you, and this is the truth, it is mentally and it is psychologically draining. So you need to prepare for it very well. You need to plan for it very well. And it's also financially draining, okay? Except maybe if you have like an NGO that can help you through the process free of charge, or they will say, okay, maybe you should pay a small stipend and then they'll help you with it. Other than that, it requires money. Okay, so you need money. You need to start saving, you need to start planning for it, you need to start, getting evidence. It's just okay. Let's say, for example, right? When I mean like evidence, for example, let's say that the law is that he who alleges must prove. That means that if you are saying that my partner is annoying, that's why I am leaving the marriage, right? You must prove that your partner is annoying. And it's because of that, your partner's annoying behavior, that's why you are leaving the marriage. So you need to have evidence to show that yes, this person is actually annoying. Maybe the things that he does, or the things that he says or she says that annoys you, or maybe your partner attacks you or is verbally abusive to you. Usually they will send you text messages or things like that. Whatever the situation is, you need to start planning and preparing for it, which leads me to the third step. So after you've thought about it, you're planning and you're preparing for it, the next thing you need to do is to seek professional advice. Okay, yes, seek professional advice. You need to contact a lawyer and ask them, have like a meeting with your lawyer, and express to the lawyer your concerns as to the fact that you're trying to get a divorce, and the lawyer will explain to you the legal implication of getting a divorce, the process of the divorce, how long it will take, how much it is going to cost, so that you still have like the cost in your mind, and what the process is like in regards to custody. If you have children, you already know that we're going to be talking about custody. And then there's also the issue of maintenance. That's the issue of the other partner bringing money for feeding of the children and all that stuff. There's also the issue of properties. Like if you have properties in the marriage and the issue of how to settle properties, the lawyer will take you through that step. So it's very important that you seek legal advice is to prepare for surprises. And I always say this, like when I'm having a meeting with my clients, like you need to prepare for surprises because during a divorce proceedings or during the process of divorce, right? Anything can happen. Like I was saying previously when I gave the example, like he who alleges must prove. And I said that, if you're saying that your partner is annoying, you need to have evidence to prove that, okay, that your partner is annoying and it's because of that his annoyance that has led you to the point where you feel like you can no longer stay with that person anymore and you have to get a divorce. Now, the other person will not just keep quiet, right? The person is going to have to prove, or the person is going to want to defend themselves. And in my own experience, I've seen like in the process of just defending themselves, like things just get things just get really worse from that point. Like it gets so bad that the other person is going to really say so many things that is going to hurt you. So before you even start, just know that there will be a lot of surprises, even things that you least expected that will make it. Like when you're having a family quarrel in your house, right? It's easier. You're quarreling with your partner, you say things you're not supposed to say and all of that. It's different from when it is now public or it is now written down on paper. And when you're filing a divorce case, everybody can see it. It's different like when it's on paper, it's more hurtful. You see, it's really, really emotionally wrecked. Some people even go as far as saying, okay, my partner is impotent, and the other person will come and say, no, it's not that I'm impotent, it's just the fact that when she was younger, she did abortion and then her womb. I'm just using it as an example. Yes, I've seen it happen a lot of times. Probably she used her abortion when she was younger. She did abortion and then she lost her womb. I was only trying to protect her. A lot of things happen like that. I was speaking to one of my colleagues, and then he was saying that he had a client where, before they went to court, he advised her, like, don't say anything about your husband's character, right? Just go and say, this is why I'm divorcing him and I want the court, to end the marriage, blah, 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 all those other things, right? And she went there and said exactly as her lawyer asked her to do. Of course not. She didn't. She went and did the direct opposite and started saying things about how her husband is a drug addict, he takes drugs, he sells drugs and all of those kind of things. And she got emotional and was saying a lot of things. And when it was time for the man to give his own evidence, he came out and said that the woman actually was trying to sleep around, or she was sleeping around, and she even wanted to pin pregnancy on him. She and her sister had a conversation on WhatsApp about how she wanted to pin fake pregnancy on him, wanted to sleep with somebody else and say he was the father of the child. And surprisingly, right, she didn't even know that he saw the text message. She didn't even know that he had knowledge of that incident, right? So a lot of things happen during that process. So you need to be prepared for surprise. Very good support system, because I have clients that will tell me that the process has been really nerve-wracking. It has pushed them into depression. They are feeling a lot of mental, physical stress, and sometimes they feel like they just can't continue or they can't take it anymore. And some even go through the process just masking all that pain. So I would say you need a very good support system. So it's people that will support you, your family, your friends, people that will be around you, when you feel like, the process is getting really, painful for you and you need a good support system. So at this point, you have, thought about your decision very well before making that decision to divorce. And after thinking about it, you started to plan, you're preparing physically for it, you're preparing emotionally for it, you're financially preparing for it. And then after that, you go seek professional help. After you seek professional help, you kind of like prepare your mind for surprises, and then you get a good support system, you can now be sure that yes, you are ready to make that decision to get a divorce. So in my next video, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can get a divorce. Thank you for watching this video up to this point. If you're still here and you have not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and you put on your notification bell so each time I post a video you get notified. Until I see you guys in my next video. In my next video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to get a divorce, so you don't want to miss that video. Thank you guys.